It doesn't seem like Hogwarts Legacy will be hitting store shelves anytime soon, but did you know there's actually a new Harry Potter video game that released this year? I know, crazy, right? Honestly, this is really bizarre to me just how under the radar this game has been so far. You really have to be looking for the information to find this, and I think one of the reasons is because it still hasn't been released in major territories like the United States and Europe. But if you haven't heard, Harry Potter Magic Awakened is a Wizarding World video game that just recently had its official launch, but only in the territories of China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau. Now, from what I've read, they are planning to release in other territories at some point, including the US. The latest reports have indicated a winter 2021 target for the territories of Thailand, the Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Japan, and South Korea. But most of you listening to this video right now, at least according to my analytics, are from the Americas and Europe. So what about our territories here, Americas and Europe? Well, there is a sign that the US release could be happening sooner than you may think, so make sure to stick around for that because we'll definitely get into those details before the end of the video. As far as the actual game itself goes, this is quite different from Hogwarts Legacy. It's an RPG card game for PC, Android, and iOS, and it's set 10 years after Harry Potter's victory over Voldemort in the Battle of Hogwarts. It was first announced back in October of 2019 and is being developed by NetEase and published by WB under the Portkey Games label, which, yes, this is the very same label that Hogwarts Legacy will be published under when it finally releases, hopefully in 2022. So with Magic Awakened taking place so close to the original series, there will actually be quite a few familiar faces that we'll interact with throughout the game. Our character's journey starts similar to Harry's when the half-giant Rubeus Hagrid shows up to deliver a letter of acceptance to a young Muggle-born. Hagrid then teaches them about the Wizarding World and joins them on their first trip to Diagon Alley. The story really kicks off at the sorting ceremony when a fellow first year, Ivy Warrington, goes missing. In addition to solving that mystery, players will get to choose their Hogwarts house, attend classes, explore the castle, and even join the dueling club. Most of the action and spellcasting will be centered on the game's card-based combat system. Normally, I'll be honest, I'm not really into mobile games and I don't play a lot of these card-based strategy RPG games, but with this one being a Harry Potter game, they certainly have my attention at the very least. I will say one thing I absolutely love about it, just from the videos I've seen, just from the trailer that you're seeing right now, is the art style. It somehow manages to nail that Harry Potter atmosphere and overall sense of magic and wonder despite being a rather refreshing take on the series. It kind of reminds me a bit of the Thai Harry Potter book covers, which are just absolutely gorgeous if you haven't seen them. I mean, just look at this. Probably my favorite covers out of all the various HP translations. Now, even though it's technically a mobile game, they do actually have it for PC as well, so I was excited to see that they have that in addition to the iOS and Android versions, which personally I think this will really help the game when it finally does release in the US and Europe. And what's so bizarre to me is how they're seemingly putting the US, the rest of the Americas, and Europe on the back burner, despite the fact that these are two of the biggest territories for the Harry Potter franchise. Of course, there are certainly dynamics to the mobile game market that I don't claim to understand, so maybe that has something to do with it and why they're releasing in certain territories before others. And of course, it does take time to get an accurate translation for the story and all the dialogue they've created. Now, I mentioned at the start of the video that there could be a sign the US release is close or even imminent. Well, it turns out just a few weeks ago, developer NetEase was holding interviews for the English version of Harry Potter Magic Awakened. They were conducting 2-hour Zoom interviews with folks who could 1. Download the game to their phone, 2. Had some mobile gaming experience, and 3. Were fans of the Harry Potter series. So hopefully this is a sign that a full release in the US and Europe is much closer than we think, maybe even before the end of 2021. Of course, the way things are looking right now, it is really starting to seem like 2022 is going to be the year of Harry Potter, at least in the US, Hogwarts Legacy, the new Fantastic Beasts movie, and if this game doesn't make it out here in 2021, then it very well could be 2022 as well. So it could just be a massive year of Harry Potter content, which, you know, as fans, we're going to absolutely love. Even though I'd certainly like to get my hands on the game a little bit sooner. Now, actually, speaking of that though, you could play this game right now. Some of you out there have actually already played the game because it was in open beta for a while. Unfortunately, the language barrier makes this harder for those of us who only speak English, but I've talked with a few fans who have actually played the game already. In fact, you know what? If you've already played it, be sure to leave a comment below and let us know what you think so far. Is it a Harry Potter game to keep on our radar, or is it not really worth your time? How have you found the overall mechanics of the game? Let us know. And if you're interested in more Harry Potter content, be sure to check out the Hogwarts Legacy playlist on the right side of your screen now. Or if you're more in the mood for some old school Harry Potter Let's Plays, then check out the playlist on the left side of your screen. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.